Most people think men get angry because they're aggressive, or cold, or hardened. But the truth, most men aren't angry. They're hurting. Anger is just the mask they learned to wear when the world taught them that every other emotion makes them weak. Today, we're going to talk about the feelings buried underneath that anger, the ones men are never given permission to speak. You've probably been told to calm down, man up, or stop overreacting, but nobody ever asked why you snapped, or what pushed you there. This video isn't about blaming men for their anger. It's about finally understanding it. Anger is almost never the first emotion. It's the last one, the armor, the shield, the survival mode. Under male anger, there is almost always something softer trying to be heard: hurt, fear, disappointment, rejection, shame, loneliness. But society, why told men, don't show that, so the hurt gets buried, the fear gets swallowed, and what comes out is the only emotion men were ever allowed to show: anger. If you cried, you heard stop crying. If you got scared, someone said don't be soft. If you got disappointed, the answer was deal with it. So you learned how to hold everything in. You learned silence. You learned to swallow your pain because you didn't want to be judged. You didn't want to be a burden. You didn't want to look weak. And over time, all those emotions piled up until the only one with enough force to break through was anger. Men don't explode because they're dangerous. They explode because they're full of unspoken expectations, full of pressure to provide, full of past disappointments they never processed, full of fear they never admitted, full of sadness they never healed. So when someone pushes them just a little too far, when they feel unheard, disrespected, or cornered, their brain doesn't say, I'm sad, it says, fight. Not because they want to hurt anyone, but because anger is the only language they were taught to speak. Most men don't need someone to fix them. They don't need someone to tell them to calm down. They need something much simpler, a safe place where they can finally be honest, where they can say, I'm stressed, I'm tired, I feel like I'm failing, I'm scared I'm not enough, without judgment, without shame, without being called dramatic, emotional, or weak. Because sometimes the loudest anger comes from the quietest pain. Hear me, your anger doesn't make you a bad man. It makes you a human one. And maybe for the first time in your life, you deserve to understand what's hiding underneath that anger and give yourself permission to feel the emotions you were never allowed to express. Because the strongest men aren't the ones who stay silent. They're the ones brave enough to feel.